Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on Fata Morgana. Playing on the southern side as the Demon Hunters, we've got Inquisition. And playing on the northern side as the Chaos Space Marines, we have got Dr. Victor Von Knox. Von Knox will be opening up with a couple of cultists and a Chaos Temple. Whereas Inquisition, very aptly named I do have to say, going to go for a Brotherhood Champion, a Warp Generator, and a Teleportarum Orbitalis. It's a classic Grey Knight opening for Inquisition, hitting hard, hitting fast, and, I don't think that the cultists will be a big fan of this, but the Chaos Lord should be able to go toe-to-toe with a couple of the Grey Boys indeed. Be careful, they just want to get surrounded and put out of position. We'll see a Chaos Armory as well, so I assume Chaos Lord into a bunch of grenade launchers to knock around the Grey Knights as they try and teleport around and make sure people stay sat on their seats, because that's apparently their main law at the moment. Do the Custodians guard the Emperor? Yes, but the Grey Knights make sure he's sitting comfortably. That's definitely a good law choice. I don't mind the current law at the moment, I'm positive. Yeah, long lines of men with long stabby bits. And yeah, no, I'm really appreciative of these guys. As of today, it's the 25th, if I'm remembering it correctly. I've had 3 games sent in a very short space of time. However, Relic has also just sent a hotfix for the most recent patch. So what I'm doing, like a frantic worker beaver, if beavers can be put in cast systems of work, it's more like ants really, isn't it? But yeah, so I've got 3 replays just recently sent in, and I'm going to try and get these replays done as quickly as possible before my Steam, even though I've got it on Please Don't Auto Update, it sometimes does anyway. So I'm going to see how much of this I can do before I have a collapse or the game self-updates and then ruins the replay files. Got the Grey Knights jumping in. They don't like this bent-backed nerd. Too busy dancing rather than actually doing some proper building. So have the cultists waiting for those grenade launchers. Chaos Lord running as quickly as he can with that powerful plasma pistol. But the moment they see him, they say no thank you. Oh no, I thought I'm going to teleport away. You're praying. You're taking down that strategic point. Before then, I assume, teleporting away. Yep, there we go. Over on this side, see whatever economic damage they can bring to bear. Another bent-backed nerd. No offense if you have a bent back, but obviously nowhere near as bad as these guys. They've got like braces, but for the spine, which is definitely heresy, probably. Cultists attempted to capture the critical location. They will have a terrible time once the long stabby bits, the FU sticks of the Emperor come crashing down. I haven't stopped them. They don't want to stick around for any length of time. Each of these boys cost 60 blue and 15 green. Remarkably expensive for a tier 1 unit, but incredibly powerful all the same. They want to be building up an economy on the back of any kind of harassment that they do. They've not denied the Relic. They've only really squam-bombed one strategic point, which squam-bomb is indeed a real word, if any of you have watched Burst Selector back in the day, which I'm sure about 5 of you have. Comes from the bear in that one episode, where he's got the balloons for eyes, but there we go. Hey, tell you what, if anyone gets that reference, oh, I tell you what, that'll be the day. But Chaos, yep, plasma guns or plasma pistols on their aspiring champions. Like Murny, Chaos factions, they get their aspiring champions in tier 1, which gives them access to really good plasma weapons early on in the game, although those cultists falling thick and falling fast. One squad wipe there. Chaos Lord there, taking practically 0 damage. Those fiery soup balls of chaos on his backpack. The Grey Knights, and what a fantastic faction the Grey Knights do have to be. Obviously these guys are new with Unification. Well, not new, but if you've never played Unification before, they're brand new for you. Chaos, you've seen them, you know them, you love them. As the game goes on, and quite common with a lot of the OG factions, you've got a lot more flexibility in the later stages of the game. Whereas the Grey Knights, kind of limited to these kinds of units. Small, expensive, but very, very good. Pack a punch for what you pay for. Also got relatively okay access to vehicles later on, but if you're playing Grey Knights, do you want big vehicles? Probably not. The Librarian kicks some serious backside. Got a Chaos Space being thrown in the air. Not sure why. Dr. Victor Von Knox, who has been sending games into this channel for a million years by now. I haven't talked to you for a while, young man, but hope you are doing alright wherever you find yourself in the world and life at the moment. Been a while since we've had a really big games night on the Discord. I will one day get round to doing another one, but at risk of sounding like a broken record, work is kicking me in the backside. That's alright. I am on the other side of the screen. I'm with you all, brothers. Well, he falls back, gets some more friends, and goes in for another little punt. Flamers on the Pegasus squads, trying to break morale and almost getting them, but starting to bottle it last moment. Gonna fall back to the light cover. And the Grey Knights with any kind of cover bonus is something you don't really want to muscle with. Chaos Space Marines, are you getting into Tier 2 at the moment? You are just beginning Tier 2. And what about you guys? You are about 14% in, so a little bit of a advantage in there. Getting a decap on the Relic. Current economy is 92 and 40 in comparison to 85 and 10. Frag grenades on the way. Slight economic downpour on the Chaos Space Marine side of things. They're lacking a significant army, but vehicles. The Vindicare tank is what I imagine Chaos goes for. It's a very common choice. Gonna go for Librarians. A Psychic is probably in there. Oh dear, the last of the cultists being zapped by the Imperial icon. Very sad time indeed. The good doctor looking for an in. That relic is going to slow them down a little bit, so that might actually be the saving grace, sacrificing their relic for the greater good. Second plasma generator. You'll need at least 2 plasma generators to get a decent vehicular unit composition on your side. Got to bear in mind as well, they've got to pay green money to build up the machine cult or the machine pit, whatever the Chaos Space Marines call it. There's the Librarian. The books are out. A Brotherhood champion to end all champions. The more champions you get, the quicker you are at capping your points. If I'm remembering that correctly, not sure if that was patched out a while ago, but it makes sense. It's a unique ability. The more champions you have, the more speed at which you are able to lay down the Emperor's word. Replacement cultists on the way, and we are seeing a Domus Astra Telepathica. All the Latin I know is based on Warhammer. I've been semi-tempted to learn Latin, not because I want to learn Warhammer better, but just to help the kids with their homework at work. Because I work at one of those fancy schools that still teach Latin. But every day I say to myself, Mr. Landshot, you've got to learn a new language. It's on your to-do list. And every day I say no. I can speak English by the grace of God, who is English, because the Bible's written in English. So that's my proof. You know, seen a picture of Jesus. Jesus was white. He must be from Yorkshire. That's how I understand it. So, realistically, do I need to learn another language? No. Gosh darn it. Anyway, the Grey Knights have taken their pedal off the metal, so to speak. They do have some shiny purifiers who are going in for a Knight of the Flame. These bad boys are known for their slicey McDiceys in close combat. Cultists are in the worst place possible, but there is the Vindicator. And a big mass of chunky boys. Just one, go on, just turn around. 360 no scope them. I've got instantly seen that, so he spreads the boys out. And get that far out of your head before you even mention it in the comments. There we go, huge blast. But there's a lot less damage than in previous versions of Dawn of War Unification. But still a mean beam. All the same. Chaos Lord now taking a bit of a battering in close combat. Gets sent straight down to the pits of doom. The Force of the Pattern Razorback Well, there's more tricks up Dr. Victor Von Knox's sleeves. Another huge blast. And the problem is high health regen. Inconsistent damage. There's Chaos Predator. Listening Burst on its way out. Sacrificial Circle for more mischief and madness. What are you getting from there? You're getting a horror squad. Demons against demon hunters. He's a brave man, is Dr. Victor Von Knox. You might ask, what is his doctorate in? Well, you know, agriculture. He loves farming. He's got a win streak on Farmville, which is a Facebook game, if I'm not mistaken. Another blast from the Vindicator. Chaos Predator is out looking for Infernus Blighter. So tanks abound. No major anti-vehicle from these guys, although the Vindicator doesn't have a lot of health or armor. Horrors take down one, Razorback. And there is the Monster Energy Drink being sprayed on all these guys. The AoE damage comes on in. Morale slowly being sapped away from these guys. Horrors from pink go to blue. Another pattern goes down. And the Chaos Predator holding them back. Gets the damage in. And can also fire backwards as well, which is quite a boon for a vehicle. Looks backwards, there's the Sorcerer. Ready to lay down that fine sauce. Big Sorcerer's Blast. Morale broken. Going to see some Khorne Berserkers. Love to see them. Probably won't do all that good against the Grey Knight Purifiers, but you know, it's just nice to see them. We saw them in a Soulstorm game the other day. Again, not doing a great job. Here they are, look at them. Black as the night is dark against armour pure as snow. Oh, you just love to see it, don't you? Another Razorback comes out. A fresh Chaos Predator. Where's the one? Oh, it's dead. It's dead. That's sad. Warpsmith for the repairs. Be able to repair at a much faster speed than the regular Heretics. Tank on tank action. But blasted apart by the chain axes and chain swords of the Khorne Berserkers. Chaos Sorcerer giving them the old "you shall not pass" maneuver. Absolute bedlam in the Chaos Space, and might I say, it looks like as if the Chaos Space Marines were on the last legs, but just when you think it's all over, the fat lady ain't singing, she's screaming for the forces of chaos to keep on keeping on. More blighters for the Predators. The Berserkers, they're not really feeling it. Warpsmith also being knocked on his backside, trying to keep him in tandem with that Predator, and there we go. And just a slow death for these Purgators. Again, no anti-vehicle, so it takes them a while to cut through it. Completely ignoring that Warpsmith as well. I mean, they're just about out DPSing that repair rate. I don't even think they even realise he's there. Maybe it's just gentleman's ambition. They don't want to really kill him because it's just poor sport. Gotta respect it. Defiler coming out a little bit cheaper, I imagine, than the Predator being upgraded with the Blighter. But he's doing it, baby. He's believing in himself. The Purifier squad about to be squad wiped. If he could just get it before it's reinforced. Does just, not quite being able to get it. That's a real pain and a shame. There's that Defiler. Massive Crabman. Look at that. Gives them a squeeze for throwing them. Oh, look at that. Put your 3D glasses on. Start watching this shit in IMAX. What else is going on over here? Are we seeing a tier 3? No, we're not seeing a tier 3. But we are just seeing the forces of the Imperium committing to just throwing everything that they've got and the kitchen sink towards Force Chaos. Not quite guessing it, my god. I don't know if you can hear that level of volume when the Defiler gives them a squeeze. I think I put a limiter on my in-game volume to make sure that you can still hear me while still hearing a good amount of volume, but Good lord, my eardrums have been... I'm not even going to say. Don't think I can say without getting this video demonetized, but... Good lord, Inquisitor Command Squad. Not as beefy as the other Inquisitorial heroes. I mean, that's one thing that the Demon Hunters have, is quite a roster of heroes. I do believe, I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but tabletop, I think, oh god, what's that Grey Knight called? He's trapped in the warp, but he loves it. Calgar, no, that's the guy with the big hands. He's like Vi, but blue. No, it's got a shield. If you saw if the Emperor had touched a speech, he's a dude who said, release the hams. That's the only reference I know of him. But I don't think he's in tabletop anymore, but he's still in Unification, gosh darn it. They paid for the model, they paid for the voice, well, they don't pay for the model or the voice actor, but they put the work in. No point getting rid of him. He's not a model of legend, lives in the hearts of all of us. Relic is dead. And Chaos coming back in. Good economy is 79 and 60 compared to 124 and 66. Inquisition sitting on his laurels. He's going for the Stormhawk up to a very good air-based vehicle, but where's the rest of your army? You've got practically no army. Oh look, we've got Nergal, we've got Slanesh. It's a disco and everyone's in fact. We've got Korn over here. Zinch, I assume, if you're going for more pink horrors. Everyone's invited to this party. Green Purifiers, limited to one. So bloody expensive. 260 and 120. What, Lord Inquisitor, you've gone for a couple of melter guns. Can you beat back the forces of chaos in the same way that they did to you? There's the Purifiers. Reinforcing at 65 and 30. Stormhawk thinking about going for the base trade, but it's not what you want. They're bashing down the Inquisitor's tower. There's the firepower coming in. Melter guns breaking their way through that Predator very quickly. Even the Warp Smith is keeping it alive very nicely. Corn Berserkers smashing and bashing their way on those Lord Inquisitors. And the Predators are prime target number one. They're the rack of beef that the Inquisition wants to sink their teeth into, and there we go. Both of them are dead. Not sure where the Defiler went. Probably down at some point. Can't believe that. I didn't even see that. Oh, there's the big horrors. Throwing their Pokeballs towards the Stormhawk Interceptor. It only takes a couple of volleys to kill him as well. Look at that. Such a fragile unit. Just one more ball will do it for him. There we go. Takes it down. That's an expensive piece of kit to lose as well. As in the name of the game, Corn Berserkers just loving the situation. Are they going to die? Yes, but apparently on fire now. Not sure why. Because of the Grey Knight Purifiers. And the Knight of the Flame there. He's got a big hammer. Oh, yeah, that's a terrible way to go. Just dragging him into the warp. Still alive though. Got one boy left. Last man standing. Lies on the floor, but he can't keep him down for long. We'll give it one last smash for also being banished to the Shadow Realm. And the Pink Horrors are in that similar boat as well, so much like the Forces of Chaos, the Grey Knights have defended themselves. What an absolutely cracking game so far. Lovely back and forths going on here. Another Stormhawk Interceptor being sent from the Dominus Astra Telepathica. What's going on in Chaos Land? They're going for tier 3. They are resisting buying too many extra units. They're saving up some money to buy the fancy stuff, but will they be able to buy the fancy stuff in time for the Grey Knights to get over there and run them ragged?
My life is forfeit.
There's a heretic, and yes, indeed, your life is forfeit. Don't think he realises what's about to knock on. Oh, I mean, he will now, because have you got vision on him? You got vision because you got that critical location. Not for long there. I know they're thinking about it, but they've got to keep that momentum going. They've killed the Chaos base. Oh, the Chaos Army, sorry. So now is the time to get it in. Double Horrors. They've anticipated the Stormhawk Interceptor, although now the Grey Knights will be able to smack them down. Tier 3 about to finish, but they just don't have the time. get out other stuff on the go. Chaos Dreadnought coming forth. Stormhawk Interceptor going to finish off the listing post while the Grey Knights push on forward. They have seen the machine pit and they want that dead ASAP. Horror Squad trying to get a couple of pink bits off. And the Stormhawk. There we go, I think. Dr. Victor Von Knox a little bit too complacent here. Not complacent, but thinking he could take up in time. Let's Chaos Dreadnought. And we've also got the Fawn Princess. Rags like a quasi-Harlequin. Brings out an extra Iconoclast Zealot squad. Goes for a lot of Sisters of Slaughter. Very expensive unit. That's 75 blue and 50 green to reinforce, but also a very strong unit in that. Attempting to break down the machine pit. Can they do it? Secondary commander is that Fawn Princess. I wonder, has she been knocked back into tier 3? She originally was in tier 2, but being a really strong commander, makes sense that she was sent back to the later tiers. Although I could be wrong. I've read the patch notes, but I've forgotten what was in the patch notes because I'm a piece of shit and I'm sorry. But you know, you forgive me, don't you, boys and girls at home? Cheers, I appreciate that. I assume you said yes. And that's my headcanon for our relationship at the moment. A loving one, a forgiving one. But yeah, those Iconoclasts have done stuff. The Grey Knights assaulted, they've managed to kill the machine pit, but not much else. There's a Riser pattern, a Vortimer pattern, sorry. Sorry to get my Forge Worlds mixed up. Killing a Razorback, soon to kill another one. Yeah, those horrors, man. Really, really good at doing one singular thing. Utterly rubbish at everything else, but that's fine. Dawn Berserkers chasing away the Grey Knights. What have you got to follow up with? Oh, that's a nice bit of quiet in my eardrums. It's rebuilding the economy, man. You have much of economy? You do have quite a lot of economy. But the problem is you've got quite a stonking amount of green money, but not great vehicles to bring to the table, with the exception of that Stormhawk Interceptor. Unless you send him to attack the base, ignore everyone else. Doesn't seem like you're going to do that. Engage these Iconoclast Zealots, who are just as lethal in close combat as those Grey Knights. Dawn Berserkers just losing their rag. Stormhawks trying to keep their distance from the horrors. You can't run away from your horrors, I'm afraid. They'll chase forever. Last of these Grey Knights brought down low by demons, madmen, and of course women. The downfall of many a Grey Knight. There goes the last of the horrors that were chasing after the Stormhawk Interceptor, but there's always another horror squad knocking around. Double Brotherhood champions, replacement purifiers, double purgation squads. The fact that they've not been able to rebuild all their relics is a real issue. This guy's not going to go down this way just in case to get caught in position. We'll take the long and safe way, just in case they need to break down another relic, which they won't need to. So not relic, Imperial Icon. Apparently I can't read, I was reading that one instead of this one. But I am but one man. With a limited attention span, no less. Stormhawk Interceptor thinking about going towards that Dreadnought, but he knows what's going to come and get him. Oh, there's a Possessed Squad as well. That is a really strong melee front line. You don't normally see Chaos go so heavy into the melee, but apparently Victor Von Knox, Doctor of Architecture or Agriculture or whatever joke I made earlier on, is farming the likes and farming the kills. Good hammerhead by that Chaos Dreadnought. The Lord Inquisitor attempted to come out as well. I just can't see Demon Hunters holding off this assault. Not when you got Possessed Marines, their mobile flamers forcing the Pegasus back. Even though the Grey Knight's got remarkably good morale, there's only so much morale you can keep going when you're being burnt alive and being constantly chased around by these guys with a really fast charge animation. Bonks for everyone as the horrors make their fettered way through the armour of the Inquisitor's Tower. A mighty fine job indeed. Dead, strewn everywhere. Strewn is even a word. And even said no thank you. None of that. I've had enough. What an absolutely phenomenal game. It looked like for a moment that Chaos were on their last legs earlier on in that game, but they beat them back. Got all the way over to the Grey Knight side of things. They then beat them back as well. But just this wombo combo of heavy infantry melee stuff just to beat the Grey Knights basically at their own game. So there we go. So cheers to, I think it was Victor Von Knox for sending this game into the Discord. Please do, if you've got any replays, send them into the Discord. They are the lifeblood of this channel. We can't do very many Unification games without them being sent in. Not until Dawn of War Replay website sorts its stuff out. So there we go. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.